I never harmed my wife, not a hair on her head. She got trichotillomania, so she pulls out her own hair. You know what I'm saying? That's why she wear them wigs.
Sure.
This is Datron Simmons, playing the role of an abandoned husband after brutally murdering and dismembering his own wife.
You can't argue with a timestamp on a text message on an electronic phone. I mean, it is what it is.
But what he doesn't realize is that investigators have already pieced together multiple testimonies, text messages, and even security footage that contradict every piece of his story. Now watch as they corner him with his own delusional logic.
And nothing happened in that house like that.
She died in that house, man. She died in that house. There's only one person to explain how she died in that house, and that's you.
Just after 3:30 p.m. on September 11th, 2020, 911 dispatchers in Des Moines County, Iowa, received a panicked call. According to the caller, a body had been found in a neighborhood of northwest Des Moines. But when officers arrived at the address, they realized the case went far beyond that of a normal homicide. There, they found the remains of 15-year-old Connie Crow, the owner of the property. Around 8 people were in the backyard, including James, Felicia, and Tamika Crow, Connie's brothers and sisters. They claimed that earlier that day, they had come to the house to check on 50-year-old Connie, who had been unreachable for almost a full week. They looked through the house and found nothing until they searched the backyard. Behind the shed was a tarp covering Connie's body, which had to be identified by a tattoo on her back. Otherwise, it was too difficult to make out who the body belonged to, because all that was present was a human torso. Connie had been decapitated and dismembered in the backyard of her own home. Suspicion immediately landed on 32-year-old Datron Simmons Sr., Connie's husband. While he had been at home with their 8-year-old son Datron Simmons Jr. all week, he was not at the scene when police arrived. In fact, he had disappeared from the house earlier that day. Eventually, officers would track down Datron in Osceola, a small city 45 miles away from Des Moines. From the start of his interrogation, Datron alleged that his wife had left their home the previous Sunday. He claimed he had no idea where she was or who she was with. But as you're about to see, Datron's story is going to unravel faster than he can patch it back together, giving the prosecution just enough to pin him down.
Datron, how you doing? I'm Detective Shannon, this is Detective Hayes. Just like to pop in and visit here for a minute. Just like stopping and visit with you for a minute. Just got a couple questions we'd like to ask you and try to get some things figured out. Before we do that, Detective Hayes is going to explain a few things to you, okay? Got any questions at all? He'll explain some stuff to you and we'll get going here, okay?
I know the trooper already talked to you earlier and advised you of your rights, but I'm going to read this to you again, all right? Statement of rights: before you answer any questions or make any statements, you must fully understand your rights. Number 1, you have the right to remain silent. Number 2, anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Number 3, you have the right to consult with a lawyer before you answer any questions or make any statements, and to have a lawyer present during questioning. Number 4, if you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be provided for you free of cost if you want one. You understand those? Any questions about them?
I have a hard time comprehending, so
Datron isn't exaggerating. Throughout this interrogation, he's going to swing between coherent explanations and excuses, and confusion and incoherence, though it's hard to say if his struggles are real or fake.
Okay. Have you been arrested before for anything?
yeah, I just got prison for felony eluding.
Okay. So I'm guessing maybe at some point, not here to judge anything like that, but just because of past history, past incidences with law enforcement, I'm guessing at some point somebody's probably read your rights too before. When you get through a court process, they probably informed of your rights before.
I don't really know what you just said.
Okay. So essentially, like when you're in a custody situation like this, if you were brought down to talk to us, we don't know what's going on. All we know is that apparently you guys reported your wife missing.
I never came down here before.
Okay. So let me explain real quick. So with your wife being missing, obviously we're trying to find some answers for you and for the family. And the best way we can do that is talk to people that knew your wife and had contact with her, so we can try to sort out maybe what happened to her. So we've talked to some of the family that came down, and obviously we'd like to talk to you and answer some questions. But because of the way you were brought down here, we found you and brought you down here, so it kind of looks like a custody situation. And when you're in custody, then you have these rights afforded to you before we can ask any questions. So we have to read your rights, which Detective Hayes just read to you. Make sure it's cool with you that you're willing to talk to us. We can ask you a few questions and maybe try to find out what happened to your wife, get some answers for you.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing to hide, man.
Okay. Would you like to speak to us and answer some questions? You can answer the questions you want to answer. If you decide not to answer them, you can stop answering whenever you choose to.
I answer any questions I got to provide, man.
Okay. Well, if you get to the point you don't want to answer something, don't. But if you're cool with that, we'll go ahead and ask you a few questions. And
I'm just here, man. My dad told me that they was gonna kill me. And
so who was going to kill you?
The police. They was gonna kill me.
No, we're not going to kill you.
I don't know, man. I was on the phone with him when I was getting off Osceola, and he said, "Son, go back to your grandma's house." And I said, "What's the problem?" He said, "Well, they found your wife, and she ain't got no head, no arms, no legs, and you need to go turn yourself in because you the first one that they gonna look at." And I said, "All right." So I got off the ramp, and I was getting pulled over.
So Datron obviously knows that running from the police after your wife's deceased body has been found is a terrible move. He claims it's because he thought the cops were going to kill him. But all it's done is make him look twice as guilty.
Okay. So obviously you've heard this information from your dad. Obviously we'd like to ask you some questions, try to figure that stuff out. Obviously you're right. We always look at the people that are closest to the person that's been in that situation. So would be very good at what we did if we didn't at least start with you and then ask what's going on. So if you're cool with that, like I said, if you decide later on you don't want to talk to us, great. That's your choice. You got to make that. But all right, if you're good to talk, and we'll go ahead and answer some questions, and we'll go from there. Any questions at all about that?
Well, I'll start with some basics for you real quick. Obviously, we talked a little bit about this is, missing person statement, and I'd like to kind of talk to you about when the last time you saw Connie was, and what the demeanor is, and what was going on, what she said to you.
All she said was she woke up, and she woke me up and said, "You hear that water running?" But our toilet was running. Our toilet runs.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "No, that's just the toilet running." And she was like, "No, that's the water." So she went outside, and she seen her sister Felicia using the water hose. And she was yelling at her, and she was yelling back. And she came in the house and went downstairs in the basement. Must have turned off the water or whatever. And then she came back upstairs, and she was getting ready for church. And I just had to put my wig on and everything. And she left, man.
What day was this?
This was, I don't have my phone, but it was Sunday.
Sunday?
Sunday.
Okay. So Sunday morning?
Sunday, between 9:30 and 11-ish.
9:30 and 11?
She has to be in church at 11, and she just started going to this church. Since I've been out, I never went to this church. I went to the church with her, but this was new to me because they speak English and Spanish. So.
Okay, and what'd you see her next?
Never seen her again.
Okay. When'd you talk to her last?
And she left and told me to watch Little Daytron.
That was it?
That was it.
Okay. And where were you where's this conversation had when she's talking to you about?
I was in the bed.
In the bed?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see her leave?
She said, just watch Little Daytron. He was on the couch sleep, but he ain't got no bed.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole house is like cluttered. Everything's everywhere, so she just like left. And she left the bottom lock unlocked. The bottom lock locked. But the top lock wasn't locked.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to the door. And I'm like, what the fuck? It was kind of strange to me because she don't leave the house without her phone, her purse, her keys. She don't leave the house like that, man.
This was confirmed by detectives. All of Connie's personal belongings, including the kind you would normally leave the house with, were found inside the home, which of course makes no sense if Connie was heading to church. What Datron doesn't know is that police have video footage proving that Connie never left the house that day, at least not of her own volition.
And she got these eye drops because she just had eye surgery. And she left that, the coins that I separated for her, because she was coin collector. That's it, man.
So she had surgery on her eyes?
Yeah.
When was that?
It was 2 surgeries. It was one on one eye, and she had that, I think the next week, and it was on the other eye. So,
What day was that? The last one?
I don't know. I just been taking her back and forth to these appointments. I really don't keep no dates. I don't write it down. I just do whatever she asks me to do, man.
Yeah.
That's just what I do, man.
Can you give an approximate to when that surgery would have been? How many days before she left to go to church?
I don't really know, man. I can't tell you.
No.
I can't tell you
Okay.
how many days in between. I just have to watch her go to the store, come back, clean, pick up dog shit, clean the kitchen, back, vacuum. Like, this is a lot, man. That's what I did, man. And due to the fact that she couldn't see out of the way.
Datron doesn't realize that these details only undermine his story further. If Connie's recent surgery affected her eyesight so much that she couldn't do house chores and couldn't drive safely, this only makes it more likely that she didn't leave on her own free will.
I stuck in there, man. I did anything she asked me to do. And she wasn't supposed to be driving. She had this surgery. I brought her home, and she hopped right in the car and left. And I said, "Where you going?" And she said she'll be right back. And I don't know, man. She just be doing weird stuff, man. I don't know what to say about that, man. I can't really tell you too much, you know what I'm saying, because she don't let me know a whole bunch. When I ask questions, she get quiet, so I don't know how to fill in these blanks, you know? I don't really know how to tell you what the fuck she's been doing when I've been in the penitentiary, or who she's been doing it with, or who she's been talking to. I don't have no passcodes for a phone, to her computers, none of that.
It seems a little exasperating if you're doing all that cleaning and driving and working and going to the store and probably spend some time with the kids as well.
Man, he played Fortnite and GTA, I think that's what it is. You know, I just pay attention to him, and he tells me go to the store and go for him. I'm on her food stamp card, and it's like everything is in her name, like she the boss. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is happy wife, happy life. So
yeah,
happy wife, happy life. But when it comes to their domestic situation, Datron doesn't sound like a happy husband at all. In fact, during his trial, one of Connie's relatives would describe their relationship as toxic.
I've been doing everything she asked me to do. She yelled at me, she swings, you know, and start over the whole day again, man.
You guys ever gotten into it before?
Yeah, we got into it before.
Yeah. What do you think the last time was? Anything serious? Like,
no, I stopped. I don't put my hands on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a real problem putting my hands on it. You know what I'm saying? Every time she would, you know, yell at me and then she would hit me, and then I had to defend myself, but
Yeah.
this time, like everything was different. Like I got out, I was doing good
Mm-hmm.
by her side. Anything she asked for, I'm there. Um, when she leave the house, she would either leave me there or she take me there, take me with her, to run errands and do stuff for her. She got bad feet and legs and poor circulation and diabetes. And, man, it's a lot, man.
Yeah.
And I just have to just pay attention, man. Like, I have to kick in. I've never been there really. I always been in the streets. So, when it's been getting bad, it's been getting worse. So I've been there. I've been staying there. She tell me get out, you give her a key, I do that. And, it ain't got that bad. She ain't called the police on me because she always tell me with the police. She say, I called the police on you, I called the police on you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to just go about my business until she called me back and tell me I can come home. So that's been hard to deal with too.
Minute by minute, these details only seem to fuel the detective's suspicions. Frustration at home, a history of domestic violence, and Connie's threats to call the police. Yet he doesn't seem aware of the picture he's painting.
So you were saying earlier about the eye surgery. She's not supposed to drive?
No, what her doctor said, she wasn't supposed to drive. She was supposed to be on bed rest. She wasn't supposed to be lifting no heavy objects and doing nothing heavy. And she went all against the doctor's orders, man. Like, she do whatever she wanted to do, whatever she wanted to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
So what's been going on the last few days this week when you've been home with Junior?
all I've been doing is asking him what he want. Tell me what he want. Go get it from the store. Come right back. He plays on that phone. Plays on his game. Going to his grandma's house. And,
How long were you planning on waiting?
man, he said she ain't never did this except for one time when she went to Ken's house and she stayed. That's him there for 24 hours.
Whose house?
At her house.
Whose?
She had left him there for 24 hours unsupervised. So I said, for real? And he's just been telling me this because she's been gone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I know. And every time we leave that house and he wake up, he calls the phone. And it's been multiple times we've been leaving and she's been leaving her phone and everything behind. I'm like, what is you doing? Like she don't go nowhere without that phone. And that phone is like in her palm at all times. Like if she do leave, she would go outside. She'd be in the car with her family members, and they'll go around a block or two or to her daddy's house. Man, I don't know where she go.
Okay.
So far, detectives have talked to enough people and found enough circumstantial evidence that they're confident they have their killer. But it's clear that something isn't quite right with Datron. It's better to talk things out slowly and get his story before confronting him with their suspicions.
I called my mom and my grandma and I said, Mom, what should I do? She let me live with no Datron. And she was like, well, she'll be back. Like, well, what am I supposed to do? Because I ain't never been there with my son by myself. So she said, well, she was a mule. But, so, she was running drugs. And I'm like, I never knew nothing. And my mom, why you didn't tell me? And she was like, you been breaking the girl code, whatever. So she was like, just give me a couple of days, then call me.
The news that Connie was formerly a drug mule would be a shocking revelation, and maybe would have been a plausible explanation for her disappearance if she hadn't been found in her own backyard.
When was this that you called mom?
I've been calling my mom and my grandma every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get vouch for me.
What day was the first day you think you called me?
I called them every day ever since Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, went to go over there. Yeah. That's just that's all I know, man. I'm telling you everything I know.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
I don't have nothing to hide, man. I'm not running from nobody. I told these people, like, my dad told me, he said, wherever you at, go back to your grandma's house and turn yourself in, because they're going to be looking for you, because you the husband, and if you running, then they going to make it seem like you're a suspect, and I'm not a suspect, so I don't have nothing to do with.
Did your dad tell you how he found out about the information he gave you?
He said that, he didn't say who called him. He said that they called him and said that they found my wife with no head, no arms, no legs, behind our house.
For most husbands, hearing that your wife has been found dismembered would drive you to be with your son and your family, and to help the police investigation in any way you could. But Datron's reaction was the complete opposite. Now, the detectives return to the Sunday morning Connie went missing, and they're about to amp up the pressure a little bit more.
So when she left that day, I mean, you said you heard the door shut, but you didn't hear her scream or yell for help?
Nope. None of that.
Okay. And like you said, most people now, I mean, that phone is like oxygen. I mean, people just don't, it doesn't leave their hand or on that damn thing all day long.
No.
I'm old, so it drives me crazy. I wish I didn't have one, but.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't leave your hand.
So why do you think she'd leave without all that stuff?
Somebody would threaten her or something. Like, she would tell my son, if anything ever happens to her, you know what to do. And I asked him, like, what does she mean by that? Just recently, he said, don't feel sad. So you stand down. Okay. That's all she said to him. That's all I know.
So what did he say when she left? I mean, he's right there on the couch.
He wasn't even woke. He wasn't woke at all.
She didn't say goodbye to him?
No. I think she probably kissed him. She always knew she kissed him. And then she knew.
To be honest with you, just to make a lot of sense. If she needs those eye drops, just had surgery, barely see.
Yeah, she usually take everything with her.
I mean, you're not going to be muling drugs. No drug dealer's going to trust you to try to go across country blind.
She left them red eye drops. Well, they said them red eye drops was dilating her eyes, and them was the wrong ones. She put them in the box by the bed. And
I think, like Jason and I sit here and think about it. It's like, you try to rule things out that might happen. Like the drug dealing thing's probably ruled out because I can't imagine any cartel members wanting her to mule drugs when she can't see and she's not doing very well with diabetes. And so that's probably not a likely source of what may have happened to her. And
I don't know what's happening to her.
And random's so rare. I mean, typically things that happen to people happen, by people they know. It doesn't sound like she's had a lot of contacts other than family and close people to her. It doesn't sound like she branches out a lot with other people from what we've gathered. I mean, you haven't described a lot of friends come over. Her family doesn't describe a lot of friends. It pretty much is you and her family that, close to one another.
And Felicia, Josh, Tasha.
And you probably know her, better than anybody. She lived with her day now. It sounds like it's kind of trying for you because, she's kind of demanding with her illness and with her condition where it's kind of sounds like kind of putting you through hell with all the busy work you have to do to keep up with the place and watch your son. But why do you think somebody would want to kill her? I mean, you know her better than anybody.
It's an interesting tactic. the detective list off the grievances Datron has with his wife before asking him why someone would want to kill her. A non-confrontational reminder that he was the only one in her life with a motive.
I don't even have no idea. She even had multiple men that she told me about herself. And when I got up in church and I asked her, and she said these men, and I really had to leave the situation alone because I wasn't perfect and I had babies when I was married to her. So,
But then those guys have been at the house since you've been there,
I
right?
don't know if they've been at the house. I don't know if she sees them. I don't know if they.
So as far as the day that she left, though, the day you heard her go out the door, since Sunday, it's been you and your son. There hasn't been any other people there?
Ain't nobody. She told me don't let nobody in. Don't let nobody come in here and steal my stuff. Everything is for you and the Datron. That was it, man. That's all I know, man.
Did she have any money at the house?
I don't know what she got.
You mentioned like a coin collection. Is that still there? Nobody's stolen that?
Not that I know of.
Nobody's broke in.
Nobody broke in, and nobody stole nothing, and nothing been out of place.
Did your dad tell you where they found her at?
No, he just said they found her in the back.
Yeah. Which is really kind of weird because, I mean, for her to walk out the door, on your property, her property, I guess, walk out that door.
Not my property. It's
her property, I meant to say. I mean, you were living there too, but
yeah.
For her property, for her to walk out that door and then suddenly end up how she ends up, it's just bizarre. I mean, it's not like some guy from years ago is going to do that or come over there and do that to her, right there in broad daylight.
Well, sir, I don't really know what. When I'm supposed to take medicine when I sleep.
Sure.
I take gabapentin and this other medicine. I got 3 meds.
What do you take that for?
My mental disorder.
Okay. Well, I'm not trying to be a smart ass thing. I'm just curious, but as far as the disorder, what is it exactly?
Paranoid, schizophrenic, and bipolar.
Okay.
And all the medicines that I was on before, I went to penitentiary. I'm not on all the medicines anymore. So I've been going to the doctor.
Are you currently taking them?
Yeah, Dr.
Doing good with them?
Dr. Makapati and Dr. Melvin Bobo. They've been helping me out, and my wife been helping me fill out my disability papers and everything.
Sure.
And everything.
So you've been staying up on your meds and feeling pretty good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Datron doesn't know it, but detectives already know about his mental health record. It was one of the first things his parents and in-laws told them. His in-laws, especially, were concerned that he hadn't been taking his medication. It's another enormous red flag in a sea of red flags.
And so, obviously one of the things we look at is obviously you're in a trying situation. Sounds like she's been pretty demanding. You're doing all the work. You're doing all the chores around the house, watching your son, cooking, cleaning, all the stuff you're doing, which oftentimes it does lead to problems between people. I mean, people be lying to you, they say it doesn't. I mean, it is trying. Whether the man or the woman's getting stuck in that role doing all the work, the other one tends to get pissed off because, what about me? What's in it for me kind of a thing. It happens. It's pretty common.
Well, she pays all the bills, so I can't really complain.
Sure. But it's still, though, when you're doing all the work, it's sometimes, she's paying the bills and you're getting bossed around on top of it.
It's really not a boss. It's like...
Well, that's the impression I got when you explained that earlier.
Yeah, but it's really... I mean, if I gave you the wrong impression, it's not like a boss, though. It's like... I'm her husband, so I have to be there for her.
Sure.
But wrong or right, thick and thin, I'm going to have to be there. And even if she don't want me there, she tells me to go. If she want me there, she tells me to come back.
So did you guys have any kind of argument over the weekend?
No.
Not on Saturday or Sunday at all?
No. She yells at me and I stay quiet.
Do you remember her yelling at you at all on Saturday or Sunday?
She always yelling at me and my son.
Okay. But I mean, specifically on either one of those days leading up to when she left, do you remember her like being mad and letting you have it and yelling at you?
When she get mad, she go on her tirade. And...
Did she do that on Sunday?
Nope. Not that I know of. And she don't talk to me. She don't have a conversation like this. All the time she yells at me, so it's became natural to me.
Sure. But you don't remember her yelling at you on Sunday morning?
No, I know it's dumb shit. She was yelling at her sister about that water being on outside. That's all I know.
You think that was sometime between 9:30 and 11?
Yeah.
But you don't think her sister would kill her? Especially over water.
I don't know, man. They ain't got no water and no electricity over there at her mom and dad's house. And she's been giving them eviction to get out of there. Seems like ain't nobody want to leave, so.
A big part of Datron's description of Sunday morning is Connie's argument with her sister Felicia. But Datron hasn't been told yet that detectives have already talked to Felicia, who never mentioned any argument, and also raised other points that contradict Datron's story.
It's kind of hard to say, man. Like, I'm dealing with all these people, and it's just me there.
Sure.
And the only reason I'm really there is because my son and I'm married to her. So I don't have no residence, nowhere to stay. I was gonna stay in a homeless shelter. She didn't want me to stay there.
Had she been injured at all over the weekend?
Ooh.
Had she been injured or hurt at all over the weekend? Like bleeding anywhere in the house?
Her nose. She said her nose. She was having aneurysm or something like that. And her nose was bleeding. And I said, "Are you okay?" And she didn't really give me like too much, but
What day was that?
that was Sunday morning too.
Okay.
Yeah, and her nose was bleeding.
What room was she in when her nose was bleeding?
She was in the bedroom.
Okay.
She woke up and she said her nose was dry. And I said, "Okay."
Did you see the blood like on her pillow or on the blanket?
I seen on the hands, and then I seen on the toilet paper. And I asked her, was she all right? And she said, this ain't nobody where he live.
I'm sorry, she said what?
She said, I can't live like this or some shit. And I guess she was just in so much pain, man. Because her legs hurt and her feet go numb, and I rub them lotion.
I had a kind of off topic, but a weird case a few years back. It was an older couple, and she had cancer pretty bad and was in a lot of pain, and had asked her husband repeatedly because she couldn't take the pain, was tired of suffering, and with her being all this pain, I'm just curious, she ever asked you that? Like, I just can't take it anymore, help me out?
Help her out with what?
Like, death. I mean,
Hell no. She ain't never asked
no, I'm
me
just
no
saying,
shit like
I had a
that.
case
She
like that.
ain't
a few
never
years
asked
back.
me no shit like that. I would never, hell no.
I just wanted to talk about people get a lot
I would
of
call
pain.
the hospital and commit her if
Sure.
she ever asked me to do some shit like that.
Be surprised with people that have, severe illnesses.
I ain't going. I'm not doing that shit.
No, I don't blame you. I'm just saying people with severe illnesses sometimes get in that much pain. And
Nah.
she seemed like she was in that high of a threshold of pain.
No.
All right. As far as the blood, then how much blood was she like gushing blood out of her nose, like pretty bad?
She was blowing her nose, and she had toilet paper, and she was wiping it. And
Is that stuff still there in the house now?
I clean up the house, man. So I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't believe so.
Detectives have found evidence of Connie's blood in the hallway of their home. And Datron's explanation? That she had a nosebleed, and he immediately threw out her bloody tissues. It's too convenient to be believable. It wouldn't be the first time a murder suspect came up with a similar story to explain the presence of a victim's blood. But now the conversation switches back to Felicia and her view of that Sunday morning.
We talked to Felicia, and she doesn't mention any arguments over water on Sunday morning.
Really?
Yeah.
Then what the fuck did she?
Felicia also says that she got a text from Connie on Sunday morning. She said she went over to the house to wash her car, and then she left to get ready for church. And after that, Connie texted her and said, "Don't bother, because I'm not coming to church this morning."
What?
Yeah, she got the text messages.
So why did she tell me that she was going to church then?
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
No.
Some other things don't make sense, including why would you walk out of the door that you've locked and leave the keys inside
No,
and not knock?
not the bottom lock.
Okay.
She can lock the bottom lock,
Mm-hmm.
and she'd call or knock on the door, and that's when she leave with her people.
Mm-hmm.
She done did this multiple times. You can ask my son.
She's gonna walk out the door and leave the keys inside.
Listen, man.
She locked the door, right? You said that.
The bottom lock.
Yeah. And then you said you heard the door slam.
The door, James.
But you didn't hear her knock on the door?
She didn't come back.
Well,
What the?
where'd she go?
I don't know.
But I mean,
I didn't leave behind her.
How's she gonna get to church? You've been to church with her before, you said, right?
Listen, she gets around by her people, and whoever, because she lies to me all the time, and Tasha tell you to your face, she lies to me all the time.
I guarantee you she's probably lying. All wives lie to them.
Yeah,
My
so
wife lies to me all the time.
I don't know what to believe or what not to believe.
But at least in the last
She
couple
just
weeks, though, with
tells
all this diabetes, the eye stuff, she ain't been out running the streets and traveling around.
Listen, as soon as she got that eye surgery, she got in her motherfucking car and left.
Yeah, but it wasn't like she's out all night running the streets.
She was gone for multiple hours, so I don't know what the fuck she's doing.
But when she left, for those times, I'll give you an example. So if she left with her purse, her car keys, her phone, all the things people typically leave with when they leave. If she's going to go out running around, right?
Well, unless she's coming right back.
Detectives are giving Datron every opportunity to come up with a better explanation of Connie's movements that doesn't implicate him. But he's failing on every count.
I think that, I'll give you a little background on me. I've 27 years I've been doing this job, and so I've sat in this room and talked to a lot of people over the years, and I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I've heard a lot of stories from every different walk of life, and, so you gain a little experience doing that. But I think the mistake a lot of people make when they come in and talk to us is that in a lot of situations, there's two sides to every story, right?
Exactly.
And where I've seen a lot of guys make the mistake is that in your case, she's attacked you before, right? Didn't she get
See what?
she get arrested before for assaulting you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've seen guys in that same situation where things get out of hand. The woman starts it, but the guy comes down and says, "Oh shit, I'm in a lot of trouble. I'm gonna make up a crazy story. I hope they believe it." No, let me finish. But I'm just saying I've seen that in the past. So they do thinking, well, I'll deflect him with this crazy story. But in the end, it's like if somebody would have told us there's more to it.
Then it's not going to surprise us. We have history.
I panicked, and some bad shit happened. We get that. We've been through this before. But like I said, I see a lot of these guys make that mistake because they're like, "Hey, I don't know nothing, man. She just left and left over shit behind and ends up dead next to the house." And I can just tell you, nobody's going to buy that. So it doesn't make any sense. Obviously, something happened. This is your opportunity now to say, if this was another situation where she's bossing you around, you're doing all the work around the house, and she gets violent with you, and you defend yourself, and a freak accident happens. Now's the time to lay it on the table, man.
Listen, I never harmed my wife. Not a hair on her head. And she pulls out her own hair. She got trichotillomania. So she pulls out her own hair. You know what I'm saying? That's why she wear them wigs.
Sure.
Datron's inability to stay on topic, even when his future depends on it, is almost impressive.
So I don't.
Yeah, but you in the past though, didn't you get arrested for you guys get in a fight? You got charged?
She charged me with a domestic, and I did not put my hands on it. I did not put my hands on it.
And we're not here to judge it. We just know that
it's only God can judge me.
I know
and
that.
I'm not going to even lie to you. If she put her hands on me or I put my hands on her, I have to call the police. Even though I'm in her residence.
How come you have to call them?
Because that's what I have to do now. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean? I don't understand. What do you mean?
I have to call the police because I'm not going to win. I'm not going to win verbally. I'm not going to win.
Yeah, but if she attacks you and you're defending yourself and things get out of hand, I've seen it before, man. I've seen it lots of times before.
She ain't attacking me. She attacked me with the words.
So
she don't attack me with the. No, she don't attack me like that when I don't know objects or nothing. And false ass story about Felicia. Felicia did come over there and use that goddamn water.
Yeah, but they didn't fight over that.
They was arguing. They didn't physically fight. You know
Well,
what I'm
we've
saying?
read the text messages. There wasn't any of that I'm pissed off at you still. It was, hey, don't
I
pick
mean,
me up for church, no problem.
They sisters. They don't
Yeah.
do that. And why you lie to me and tell me that you going to church when you're not going to really go to church?
Well, unfortunately, now she doesn't get to do anything she wants to do any longer. 'Cause somebody took her life, and we don't know why, and we're trying to figure that out.
You know, they blame me for everything anyway, for breaking shit in the house to everything.
So far, this interrogation has jumped from topic to topic, and now it's going to touch on something very important. When police first arrived at the crime scene, they found a recently burnt patch of ground not far from Connie's body. Given that her head and limbs were missing, they immediately suspected burning as a means to get rid of evidence.
You'd been burning some stuff out back.
Nah, some wood that she told me to burn.
Okay.
Yeah, she told me to burn the wood.
Were you working on that this week?
Yeah, she told me to burn that.
Okay.
And because all the trees that fell down, you go and look in our yard, all the trees that fell down in our yard.
Some neighbors had mentioned that too, so we're just trying to clear that up. Do you remember what days you were out there working in the yard and burning that stuff?
Like Monday and Tuesday.
So as far as that barrel you're burning things in, did the barrel stink?
Stink?
Yeah, I know we were out the house. It smelled bad.
Like what?
I don't know. Just stunk. Did you notice that when you're burning stuff in it?
I mean, she burnt a lot of shit.
Yeah, but as far as you're the last one to burn in it, so did you smell anything when you were burning in it?
Nah, man, that was hot. Yeah, I didn't smell nothing, man. Like,
did you put any lighter fluid in there or anything to get the logs to burn faster?
I had to put the gasoline in there because I didn't have no lighter fluid. I had burnt the lighter fluid. It was only a little bit lighter fluid.
Now, pay close attention to these details, because as you're about to see, they're going to come back with a vengeance.
Day you think we're putting in out there on Monday and Tuesday cleaning?
I'm in and out of the house, so I just go in there, go out there, see, let my dogs out, go out there, see if it's burning, put some old wood in there. When that burn down, some old wood in there.
So when you're doing that, are you going in the front or the back door?
There's only one door we can go in, front door. Legally, it's the back door, but front door.
The one that faces the street, or the
Yeah, the one that faces the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when she left that day, then she would have went out that same front door,
Same
the one
front
that
door.
faces the street.
Same front door.
Okay. Did you know there's a person across the street that has a camera in their house?
No.
Yeah, that's why. But we were just out knocking on doors, talking to people to see if anybody saw or heard anything. And
Yeah.
there's a person across the street's got a camera.
Yeah.
And so one of the other detectives looked at some of that camera footage from Sunday, and we never saw her go out that front door.
No?
No,
At all?
no,
Are you serious?
no. Yeah. Just like I said, we're trying to verify your story, but yeah, she never seen going out that front door on Sunday.
Get the out of here, man. She never left out the front door.
No.
Datron's reaction looks less like shock that she didn't leave the house, and more like panic that he's been caught in a lie. And his shock is only going to worsen when they catch him in another one.
This don't make no sense.
Not at all.
This don't make no sense at all.
Well, obviously, man, something happened there, and this is obviously our time to sit down and visit with you and find out.
Not in the house. My son would have woke up and anything.
Do you remember telling the officer earlier today that you and Connie had an argument on Sunday?
I said her sister had an argument with her. I didn't say I had
Watched
no
the video.
Huh?
So I watched the
Yeah, you
video.
had a camera on. You clearly told him that you and her had an argument Sunday morning.
She was yelling at me like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I know that
It wasn't even no argument.
your son
Like,
told his aunt that you guys were arguing. He has to come to her house at 1 o'clock on Sunday when we have that screenshot of that conversation and the time that it took her to call and have that conversation recorded on her phone.
He actually comes to our house.
So this is at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And your son is saying to somebody else that you guys are fighting. He wants to come to her house.
Nah, this went on Sunday.
Yeah.
He was asleep. He was asleep until about like 2, 3 o'clock. So I know that for sure. We wasn't fighting.
And you text him. It's electronics. You've got a phone, so you see the time and everything. So we know what time it went through. And
Right.
yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But clearly
She
there was an
didn't say
argument.
in her text message that we was fighting to Felicia or none of that. Because usually if we fight or something, she tell her family.
But that clearly the argument you guys had after Felicia had been there, because from the time Felicia left till your son sent the message, there was a couple hours in between that
He
time.
wasn't even up when she was going to church. She wasn't up. I mean, he wasn't up.
Yeah, but she never went to church. We know that. She never went out that front door. We watched that video. And your son's sending a text saying, can I come over? Because mom and dad are arguing and I don't want to be here. I mean, this isn't stuff we're making up. I mean, this is simply, I guess call them hardcore facts because they're indisputable little key pieces of information that you can't argue with a timestamp on a text message on an electronic phone. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You can't argue with the person that typed it because clearly when they express why they want to leave that place, there's something going on making them uncomfortable. So obviously our role is to figure out what was that argument about.
By now, Datron is beginning to realize that none of his arguments have helped. Watch as detectives corner him further, and he slowly begins to shut down as the facts pile up.
That's the $1 million question. That's what we're trying to find out from you. We're just trying to ask for the truth. Maybe it got bad that day. Maybe she started beating on you again, and you defended yourself, and things went bad. You panicked and didn't want to get in trouble over it. I can understand that. But I think we both know as we sit here, probably how this thing's going to shake out is that, evidence is going to show that there was just 3 of you in the house, and your son didn't have anything to do with it. And so that leaves you. And if no one has your story out there, if we can't tell your story, if she was attacking you and you're defending yourself, then people think you're just some cold-blooded monster, when maybe that's not the case. And that's not fair.
Man,
My job's all about fairness. It is what it is. Put the truth out there, and then people can make decisions based fairly on the truth. And
the documented history of your guys' physical interactions and the fact that she's been assaulted or arrested for assaulting you in the past.
But we know from all the evidence we've gathered that she didn't leave that house like you said she left it. And we know there was an argument, and we know that there's been past history. And now's your opportunity, man. Things got out of hand. We know that.
yes, man.
Explain it to us.
I don't want to get myself fucked up in nothing. And I got sores in my head, man, of her hitting me. But I don't.
And I think you got fed up that day. I think you got tired of getting beat on. I think you got tired of her bossing you around.
I didn't hit her back.
Okay. Maybe you didn't. Maybe she hit you and during the process fell down and hit her head and something happened and you panicked and...
I didn't do none of that. And she didn't fall down. And nothing happened in that house like that.
She died in that house, man. She died in that house. There's only one person to explain how she died in that house, and that's you. So what happened Sunday morning, man? Because she didn't walk out that front door like you say.
No, man.
The best you remember what happened. Something happened, man. You guys had an argument. Your kid texted right after that. You can't dispute that.
You know she didn't leave the house. Everything she has, prescription medications, keys, there's a car that she would have to drive. Her cell phone that you said just never comes out of her house is all in the house. That's why we know.
I think
whatever happened, isn't it?
And I think right now you're thinking because of how she was found is how we're viewing you. That's not. There's more to this story. We wouldn't be sitting here listening to you right now. Or, we wouldn't still be sitting here. Our job is to get the truth. Like I said before, man, everybody has problems in life. Everybody comes from different walks of life. I don't care if you're rich, poor. It doesn't matter what walk of life you come through, man. People have problems. If they tell you they don't, they're lying about it. And there were obviously some problems that day. And it's important to get your side of what happened, for us to make a fair decision, make fair judgment, to apply this case fairly. It's important to know what happened from your words that morning.
From now on, Datron seems entirely dissociated from police questioning. His body language has changed dramatically. Head facing downward, not moving, and speaking so quietly it's hard to make out.
Tell us about the argument.
There wasn't no argument. She yelling at me.
What was she saying? Disrespecting you? Calling you names?
So you probably ain't want to believe it.
I'll believe you. I will. I'll believe you. I'd like to hear it.
You know, me and my whole family. Nobody gonna believe me because I'm crazy.
It's not a matter of if people are going to believe or not, man.
That's what she said. Nobody gonna believe you because you crazy.
She said nobody would believe you because you're crazy.
Yeah, she said you need to go back to the you need to check that you need somebody need to check your ass in the fucking ward.
She's yelling at you. I guarantee you felt disrespected because you've been at her beck and call, working your ass off. Then something happened, man. Things got out of hand. From what you described, you would have acted out of character because that's not your character. So what did she say to get you to that breaking point? Gonna kill you and your family? Did she say how she's gonna do it?
I get one of y'all, I'm gonna get all of y'all.
How did that make you feel?
I had no feelings. At all.
So what did you do after she told you that?
I don't even know.
Did you lose some time?
No. I lost track of a whole lot of time.
When you come to after the blackout, where was she at?
She was gone, man.
Okay. Gone as in... She wasn't gone from the house. So when you say gone, gone as in...
She was gone, man.
What do you mean by that, though, when she was gone? Gone as in past? Yes.
Detectives are so close to a confession, but just at the critical moment, Datron stops responding. So they try another tactic, moving past the moment of Connie's death and continuing the conversation as if he's fully confessed to see if he'll provide more information.
You didn't leave her in the hallway, did you?
I don't think so.
What's that?
I don't think so.
So how did she get out of the house? I know it's not easy, man, but like I said, you don't want people painting you as a monster, and this is your story. This is for us to hear from you, to confirm what you tell us. You've seen already that we can't confirm when people aren't honest with us because lies are easy to figure out and easy to point out. But the truth is what it is. So how do you end up moving her out of the house?
It was dark.
Yeah.
Please.
So what?
I believe so.
You believe it was dark outside? And so is this Sunday night now?
I lost so much track of time, man.
You said you started burning on Monday, so...
Yeah.
In the blink of an eye, detectives move to the topic of the wood burning. That's because they don't believe it was wood Datron put into the wood barrel. And though he won't admit to murdering his wife, he might admit to burning her body parts.
So what all were you burning?
Wood.
I'm sorry.
wood,
What else besides wood?
food,
Food? What kind of food?
meat,
What kind of meat?
deer,
Where'd you get the deer from?
in the house.
So you're like cooking the deer out there while you're burning it?
That's about it.
Just burning it? Was there deer bones in too?
Yeah.
So it's like at one point was it a whole deer inside? You have to cut the deer up to burn it?
Pieces.
What's that?
Pieces by pieces.
Did you have to cut those pieces up to get them in the burn barrel?
Yeah.
The implication is horrifying, and given that Datron hasn't mentioned burning deer meat at any other point in the interview, it's clear what this means.
Datron, is she in there? In the barrel. What about the other burn spot out back? You didn't do that? What made you think to burn deer meat in the barrel?
That's what she said to do.
She told you to burn the deer meat? Where was the deer meat at when you got it to burn it?
On the floor.
In the hallway?
Yeah.
So after you found her, after she was laying there, what did she have on then? What was she wearing?
Nothing.
She was naked. So why not be honest with us when we first started talking about all this? Is everything you told us now to this point the truth? I'm sorry? What about the part of the deer?
It was my deer.
What's that?
It was my deer.
Where'd the deer come from?
In the house.
You said in the hallway.
It was my deer.
So that you believe that she was your deer? And you mentioned it was meat. I mean, you weren't considering eating that, were you?
No.
Why were you burning it then? What were you going to do with the rest of that deer out back?
By now, Datron has his hood up and can't even look the detectives in the eye. And everyone in the room knows why. Detectives temporarily steer away from Connie, hoping that it might draw him back into the conversation.
You took care of your son all week by yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Think he loves you?
Yeah.
Today you made a choice to go with Tasha versus staying at home with you. Said he needed a few days. What?
She said he needed a few days.
Yeah. Someday he's gonna ask, and I think he is owed the truth. This is probably your best opportunity to get it all out, because I don't know that he'll come to you. How did she get from where you left her the first night to where she is tonight or today?
And I just go to the hospital, man. Not taking me in. And whatever. Hold me forever.
Well, like I explained before, you understand what we're trying to accomplish is that we have to make decisions. We hope to make them based on the truth. It's fair for you and it's fair for everybody else involved in the process. And we just want to make sure we have the truth when we have to step out and make decisions on what to do. And the truth is, unfortunately, you killed your wife, correct?
No, man.
Yeah, but you know what you did to try to cover it up, correct?
Pretty smart guy. You know, it's just you and her and your son in the house. And no matter what amount of time passed before you came back to knowing what was going on, you know that hadn't changed and you know what had happened. So what had happened?
She gone.
So you killed her?
We're going to step out for a minute. You need a glass of water or anything?
I need the restroom again.
Yeah, just somebody will walk you down there, right?
Reach out there.
Yep. Just give us about 2 seconds, right?
Detectives return and try one more time to get a confession. But Datron, who had enough time to realize the gravity of what he had said, shuts down the interview.
I mean, we've already established that you lost some time when this actually happened. You can't explain how she ended up on that floor. But your memory was pretty good from that point forward. So if you want us to believe you, I guess, about the fact that you don't know how it is that she came to rest on that floor, it's going to be difficult for us to do that if you're not honest about everything else that you do remember, which it's clear once you came back that you remembered all this stuff because you kind of went through step by step, day by day from that point forward.
And that's the same, man. I just want to go to the hospital, man.
Okay. So you don't want to talk or answer more questions?
I just want to go to the hospital, man, get my medicine.
Okay. Be back with you here shortly.
Time is 22:22.
Detectives may not have been able to extract a full confession from him, but in the end, they didn't need to. Despite essentially admitting to concealing his wife's body, Datron backtracked and went back into full denial mode after the interrogation. At his arraignment in November of 2020, he pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder. In July of 2022, less than a year following Connie Crow's death, Datron Simmons was found guilty of second-degree murder. He was sentenced to 50 years in prison, with the possibility of parole after 35 years served. The prosecution used Datron's own testimony about concealing Connie's remains, as well as later text messages that proved an altercation between the couple prior to her death, as evidence to convict him. They also showed that he had purchased a reciprocating saw shortly before Connie's disappearance, only to sell it the week after. The prosecution maintained that he had used the saw to dismember her before burning her remains. In 2022, Datron's legal team attempted to appeal the sentence on the grounds of insufficient evidence, but the appeal was unsuccessful. Datron may have thought he could use his mental health record to get him off the hook, but he failed. Instead, he will spend most, if not all, of the rest of his life behind bars, while Connie's extensive, loving family, and in particular her 8-year-old son, are left to face the terrible consequences of his actions. Do you think the evidence was sufficient to convict Datron? Let us know in the comments below.